DoorDash, Lyft, Uber all taking a massive hit today on a new proposal that could shake up the gig economy. The plan from the Labor Department would make it harder for companies to classify workers as independent contractors. We want to bring in Angelo, Zino, CFRA Research Senior Equity Analyst. Angelo, it's great to see you. Ahead of this announcement, you had a buy rating on Uber, buy rating on Lyft. What are the implications, do you think, if in fact we do see this rule go into effect?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think, this is, right now just kind of a proposal that's out there. I mean, from my understanding, if this goes into effect, it essentially just, reverts the standards to the Obama administration era and doesn't kind of fully result in a full reclassification of drivers. So that being said, clearly it would probably have some implications on the margin profile of these companies to the downside. But our view is clearly there are different factors at stake here when looking at each one of these individual companies, and they do have flexibility to do other things in terms of pulling levers on the pricing side of things to offset potentially higher costs out there, which you would expect to take place if this were to go into effect. So that being said, I think the outlook is very mixed at this point in time. We do think Uber better positioned than Lyft, as most would think, if this were to go into effect.
Now, Uber's stock has already been under pressure, down 41% year to date. But what would you need to hear from the companies that would still instill a bit more confidence if this proposal does in fact go through?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think, first and foremost, we have to kind of see exactly what kind of some of the details are here, because at the end of the day here, when we think about how this is going to be looked at, we believe most drivers out there continue to prefer the flexibility and utilize these platforms as a secondary source of income. So, even if this rule were to go into effect, the vast majority of these drivers would probably be not be impacted, and the actual cost profile probably wouldn't be that impacted. I think the bigger concern out there is do we potentially see a full reclassification of the gig economy over time? That's clearly the bear case scenario, I think, in the broader space in general. But as far as I'm concerned here, I think what we've heard just from both Uber and Lyft today is a minor positive. And we have seen Uber kind of have to navigate a change in classification out in London. And they've actually been able to kind of do it very successfully.
Yeah, a blog post from Lyft says no immediate or direct impact on Lyft business at this time, noting a 45-day public comment period, and this does not reclassify Lyft drivers as employees. This would be from bad to worse because Uber's already down 43% year to date and Lyft 74% year to date. But you said, Angelo, Uber's better positioned to survive this if in fact it goes into place. Presumably they have a lot more drivers. Why are they better suited to handle a rule like this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, a number of factors. First and foremost, they've already kind of inflected, and we think they've now got a business model that's sustainably free cash flow positive. But just the scalability of this company, where the market share they've got within their markets, and just the size of this company allows them to kind of navigate higher costs better than Lyft out there. They're also more geographically diversified, right? So an impact within the U.S. market probably wouldn't have as much of an impact for them as that for Lyft, which is almost entirely U.S. based. But clearly, I mean, these are both companies that have been significantly impacted here over the last 12 months from what we've seen in the broader stock market. And you definitely concerns about kind of the macro factors as well as we kind of look ahead into 2023 and what they could potentially have, how it could potentially impact the business as you kind of look at these, in conjunction with these potential, initiatives on the political side of things.